Alright, let's see here. Got sound, it looks like here. The right thing there. Let's switch this over. I don't know if it matters. Let's do that. Check, check. Looks like we still got sound. Good. Let me turn off the YouTube chat. YouTube. Alright, sorry we're a couple of minutes behind schedule this morning. That's alright though. We're getting going now. Let's do this. Okay. And I'll let's pull up the Twitch chat as well so we can see here. I guess let me drop the links as well. I dropped the links in the chat. Alright, there we go. The links. Whoa. Let's turn. We might as. Whoa, why? Why are you doing that? Oh my goodness. Okay, I hear myself also, which is not good. Close. Almost there. Okay, we got this chat. This one has sound off. Don't have any more previews. How's it going, C. Grover? Good morning. This one is paused. Okay. Okay, now we're there. I'm gonna scoot this just a little bit smaller so I can see the full amount of the chat there. There we go. Okay. Alright. Probably get up and fill my water here in a bit. But we're ready to get started at least, so let's do that. Quick introduction. Hello everyone, my name is Tim. Go by Fomaguy on the GitHub and the Discord there. The chat that's below me is on the Discord if you're in the Adafruit Discord and the live broadcast channel, so you can head there if you want to hang out during the show or ask questions, you know, give comments, give suggestions for things I'm working on, any of that sort of stuff. You can do it over on the Discord. Try to keep an eye on the Twitch chat as well. We'll be working with CircuitPython stuff. So just real briefly for anybody who might be new or watching the video of this in the future, if you don't know what CircuitPython is, you can learn more at circuitpython.org. Basically, this is a implementation of Python that runs on tiny computers called microcontrollers, which I'll show a bunch of pictures of on this page. There's a bunch of different kinds of them. And we're writing Python code that runs on these devices, and then it can interface with the, the connector pins to hook up to external hardware like sensors, displays, LEDs, speakers, buzzers, buttons, slides, knobs, any kind of thing really you can think of that is sort of electronic little widget. You can connect up to these and then use that Python code to interact with it. So that's kind of the 50,000 foot view of what we're working on. Specifically, I'll kind of dabble around in a couple of different places. I'll play with some DisplayIO stuff. We might get into a game that I was working on a little while back, but put down for a bit, but have renewed interest again. I kind of, my interest in specific projects definitely does kind of go in waves. For a while, I'll work on a thing and be super excited about it, and then eventually, like, my focus will just shift to something else, and I'll work on something else for a while, and then, eventually I'll wrap back around to some of those other projects. So I got one of those that we might dive into a bit. To start with, though, I'm going to take a look through some of the PRs. I'm also going to PR a couple of things that I have seen a few times and mentioned, like, hey, we should do that. I figured I can do that sort of stuff today, just kind of some maintenance stuff. We'll take a look through the list of PRs here. If there's anything new that I haven't looked at yet that seems interesting to me for today, then we'll do it. Did I merge this one earlier? I did take another look at this one. Yeah, I merged this one earlier. Took another look at that after the latest changes. I don't think I made the release. I will go ahead and do that. Let's make the release. So we'll start out there. We want to go new also. Let's see here. Draft. Let me also start up a playlist so the music will keep going. Keep it going here. Let's see. Here we go. Shuffle it too? Shuffle it? Yeah. Is it on? Yeah, it's on. Okay. Quiet intro there. Okay. A little bit higher. There we are. Perfect. Okay. So 110. 1110 is the previous tag. I'd say new example is not new functionality. It's certainly not like API change or anything like that. So just go minor number there. 111, I think. 1.11. It's a lot of ones. Calibration example. And of course, this was the example we took a look at last night on the deep dive. If you didn't catch that and you're interested in the specific change that's in this release, you can head back and watch that video from yesterday. Let's see, that walks you through getting accurate calibration values for your touch overlay environment. Grover, thank you again for making that thing and making the PR for it. I'm going to double check the number, 1110, 1111, that looks good. Okay, so I'll take another peek through some of this stuff. So some of this stuff I'll be getting back to on Monday. Monday is Memorial Day, so it's technically a day off. We're not having the meeting that day. So I probably won't work kind of like the full-time day on CircuitPython like I have been. I think I may do some other fun project stuff. I may get back into this game and stream for a bit, working on that on Monday. We'll see kind of how it goes, but a couple of other things that I kind of had my eye on throughout the week during this, in this list rather. So we did a bit of this. So arguments are different. Oh, I see, okay. Okay, yeah, I didn't, back when so I think maybe Monday, probably speaking of Monday is when I looked into this. I think maybe I didn't look close enough at the signature, the rest of the method signature. I noticed it has the same method, but they don't have the same signature. It takes different arguments. This has emit record, and this one had 2 arguments. Yeah, log level message. Logging record. What is a logging record? Record? Log records? I mean, I guess that's like an object that encapsulates the message and the level. Actually, quite a bit of stuff here. Okay. Refresh the motivation to add the screen rotation. Yeah, that'll be sweet as well. I'll be definitely be down with that. So I do think actually it does make sense the way this was done originally to make those underscore. I think it's worth it. Let's see my kind of structure that captures a few things. Yeah. Yeah, I don't either. Emit and format. So this is the thing, I'm not super experienced with loggers. I don't know all of the kind of tricks and tips and things you can do with them. So I don't know, like, when would you want to call that and what is it for? Or would you override it? Or, like, I don't really know how to, how you use it, how you fit it into another larger program. Record gates passed as log record. It contains most of the info. You think it's worth it? I mean, it's definitely worth it in the long run, I think. I don't know that it's imperative to do it immediately right now. In behavior, okay. So just comment was wrong on that one. I think I mean, yeah, in the long term, it may be worthwhile to make our own log record, or at least a subset of the CPython log record, so that we can have these functions with the same signature, but also with you in that I don't know the use case really for having emit and format functions like this. How's it going, Johnny? Good morning, and Dexter as well. Let me see this in the broader context. I'm not sure about the dictionary.get versus for brackets here, logger cache, logger name. What is that? Oh, nice. Moonlight. That's pretty sweet looking. Hold moonlight to display the phase. Oh, that's cool. So it has like different light ups for the different phases of the moon. That's pretty awesome. Let's grab that link here. That. Nice. Yeah, that's cool. I don't logged into Twitter somewhere? I don't know. Logged in. Give it the old heart on there. There we go. Wait. Yeah, thanks for sharing. That's awesome. Amber is new moon, cold white is full moon. Sweet. Yeah, that's great. I love like kind of breathing new life into a separate thing. Having that little lamp and then kind of adding more functionality and interesting stuff to it with the microcontroller. That's pretty cool. Let's see, we were here, so the intended behavior could also switch the relevant dictionary get back to just subscript, since it shouldn't ever fail. That I'm less certain about. I mean, I guess here it was just a subscript. Name. Handler. This was part of the changes we saw last time. Is everywhere the CPython wanted, it's always using message MSG for the argument on a bunch of these things where we had format string before. That stuff's all good. Null handler, extends handler now. $4 Chinesium. Yeah, but that's like, I don't know, that's kind of the cool thing to, I mean, especially, I think that makes it cooler to take like a cheap little thing that wasn't necessarily as interesting before and kind of add something cool to it. It's nice because it kind of gives you the ability to morph it into a new thing. Handler there, message, bunch of those. File handler is a new class. This file is deleted because this went down to a single file now instead of a package or module or whatever. It's not a folder anymore. Okay, so I think the only one open still is the handler. Go resolve on that one. Yeah, I guess it shouldn't be none because it will, inside add logger, it should, let's see. If it's not in the name, then add it to the name as a logger. And so yeah, it should never be none here. It should always, I mean, I guess it could be none if it was in there as none, but it should never fail to get this key out of this dictionary. It should always be at least this thing. So yeah. Let's see. I don't think it matters too much either. Also, though, right? Like, I mean, I guess like you could say this using it this way kind of implies that sometimes it may actually do the none, but I don't know that it's that strong of an implication, or even that implication is problematic. Really, if somebody believes that, it's not as though they're hindered in using this thing somehow. Guess they just guard against none maybe, when they didn't need to, if they didn't need to. Not sure. Really, the strongest preference I would have, I guess, is just because it used to be that way. We could take it back to how it used to be, but that's also just like not a good reason to do something, right? Just because it used to be that way is not a good reason. That's really the best reason I have, so I don't could go either way on it for sure. Okay. Are there any commits after? Not yet, okay. Let's see. Okay. I think this one we need to wrap back around to and do the last thing, which was... Or, oh, we did. No, okay, yeah, we're just waiting on the review, I guess, on this one. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, we did this one Monday. Tetrick will take a look when he can. But I need to finish up this one. Or I guess it was. Oh, but it has conflicts. Let's do that. I've never actually used the use this interface. I don't know. We want whatever's in main. I'll just do it with here. I'm more familiar with doing it this way. It's in my list still. Button. Let's see it. Oh, nice. Look at that. It's right on here, though. It is odd that I have this as green. Wonder why I have this as green? Merge main into right button. That is so big. Why is it so big? Weird. To-dos. Pick to 12 from main. Push that. Oops. Wrong browser. Alright, we'll see if it passes actions, and if it does, then I'll request the librarian's review on there. So I think this one's ready to go now. Last I recall, at least. I would definitely appreciate a couple other folks testing it though, because it does refactor the library to be a module instead of a file. Should be backwards compatible without even changing the imports, I think, if I recall correctly. But it is, you know, a fairly sizable change as far as changes go. These things are in now, I think, right? Yeah. This one also is in. Yeah. We're good to go there. Okay. So another thing I'm going to do, I'm kind of just jumping around all over the place today. I just had a few smaller things here and there that I'd noticed that I wanted to tackle. And then one of the other ones, the next one is going to be, I think this is going to be in the Learn Guide repo, and it's the DisplayIO Learn Guide. And it is the, well, probably a couple of the examples. At the very minimum, the OnDis bitmap, maybe that's the only one, I don't know. There's Learn Guide, so I always forget this one. It's Adafruit L down here. It has the old OnDis bitmap. Oh yeah, I have to do this. Let's do this. Yeah, let's trust everything in there. It has the old OnDis bitmap code where it's opening the file, and we have new code now where we can just give it the file name, which is nice because then you don't have to nest using with. Like using with is what Pylint wants you to do, but then the problem is like if you have 2 OnDis bitmaps, then you have 2 nested blocks, and if you have 6 OnDis bitmaps, then you have 6 nested blocks with. Like it doesn't, not scalable in the same way. Which is why I don't like with very much for that purpose for an open file, but the Pylint tripped on it, but now we ended up changing it in the core to where you can just give it the file name and it handles it all internally. I don't know what the name of this guide is. It going to be like CircuitPython DisplayIO, or we'll go to the Learn. Yeah, I was about to say we'll go to the Learn Guide. We can find it from there if we need to. Yeah, this is totally it. This is totally it. Let's make a branch. Branch, get, checkout. Did I like update first? Get, fetch, Adafruit. Get, remote, what do we have? Okay, get, checkout, new branch. So let's say DisplayIO CP7. From fruit main. No track. I think in this one we actually preset it with all this stuff in it. I think we can just take this out, take this out. This is the stuff we want. That's weird. It like has the old stuff, has the stuff we took out. That's interesting. Okay. Oh, why did we edit 2 things? Oh, store alert. Don't want that. Oh. can I go into that? Capital P. I think there's a pilot, yeah. This bitmap? Yeah. Dot slash? There we go. Okay. Black. Okay. Well, the little broom or whatever didn't get printed right. Why this is blue still? Let's take a look at the rest of them. Is there any others that have 7 and 6 fallback stuff? Let's look in the Learn Guide, actually. Make sure we have no max size. That's an older one. I think it would have been taken care of before, yeah. Okay, we'll take a quick peek through the rest of the examples. I don't think there is anything else CircuitPython 6 holdover stuff, so this is the one we changed. This is kind of weird. Does it really have all these spaces in it? No. It's weird. Line spacing from the code embed here. It's like just the exact right width for it to kind of get weird and make extra new lines. Change the scale. We could eventually add to this page the inflator stuff, because it handles a lot of this for you now. It's another one where it did this. Maybe this is the same one. This one we can change, but this is just on the page. We'll actually need to like log in and be able to edit the page. Let's see. Well, it's gonna two-factor me. I gotta get my other phone. I'll be back. Okay. Okay. Back there. It is way down this page. We need to be on edit also, on disk. Basically just now takes the file name by itself. Nothing else. Starting with the leading slash. Don't, buddy. It wants to bite my legs for some reason. Can we go to edit? Oh. Oh, I can't edit. Do I quick start? See, okay. Part of this page. Cool, let's go. Can I edit this? Oh, I am editing, okay. Just bitmap. So no more open, no more RB. Okay. And then you can actually use the, yeah, you can pass this here. My bitmap. Give the string with the file name to onDiskBitmap constructor. Give the bitmap object and the bitmap's pixel shader to tilegrid. Tilegrid gets put on the group, group gets put on the display. This is updated now as well. Okay. Alright, so I think with this change on the page and this change to the code, we got everything. Okay. This one did pass the checks. Oh. Just overtook the chat for a second. Then equals 6 version. Start page, link that right in there. Okay. TP. Okay, another one for today is on Gauge, I think. Saw this one come by the other day. Gauge? Got this Gauge. Oh. If we have permissions to set up the webhooks, setting it up for this library. Okay, so I've done read the docs setup a few times, but I don't actually know the full process. I always reference back to here. I do not remember what it does exactly. So we import a project, that in there, webhook. Integrations and services. So does this have a... Those docs passing? Those docs here? What's this? Be a badge? Permission to set up webhooks. Setting up this library should resolve it. IO gauge. Seems like the docs are here. Is this IO gauge? Be nice to have a picture of it, maybe. I don't know. Let's, I'm gonna pull this over for a minute because I don't know what it shows on this page. Okay. It does not have a webhook, so there's that. Back for a minute. But I mean, it does exist. I don't know, the build status is messed up. I don't know what that's about. I think this is not logged in, is it? It's not logged in. Looks like I didn't create that one. Electric made it. What was this? I guess we need to do this, which is actually a little bit different now, I think. There's integration and services. On the right, there will be an add service. Select read the docs from the list. Add service. So I guess it's different than webhooks. But it calls it a hook here. That's weird. Should be on the webhooks page if it's a webhook. Okay, so and again, I don't know exactly what all it shows, so I'm gonna have to do this over here because I don't want to accidentally leak anything inside the repo settings page. So there's not a, yeah, it's not actually, it doesn't have that. There is a webhooks, but there is no integrations and services. So I can add a webhook, but then I need to get it. I would need to get it from. I think I would need to be able to see settings here. Like if I go back to one of these that I have access to as admin and webhooks. Oh no, this has no webhooks though. Alright, let me look around for a minute. But maybe this one's not set up either? Yeah. So this one does have a webhook setup, but it's visible only on the GitHub side. Oh, okay. So it's on the read the docs side, it's listed as integrations. GitHub incoming webhook add integration. But it is it's under admin, so I can't do it on this one. Oops, wrong one. Okay, let me also put the chats back. I dragged a bunch of these on top. I have to close some of these browser windows as well. Okay. So I think we want to share probably the... What did I do on some of them? I think you can share the repo, well, not a repo, but the read the docs. You can share this project inside here. Multiple people, and one of them should be CircuitPython. Add maintainers. So many, too many windows. Too many windows. Close this so I stop tricking myself with it. Okay. I wonder what's up with the build status though. Why is this one messed up? Doesn't have actions enabled. That'll do it, I guess. The other ones do though, don't they? Yeah. Okay. Make an issue for that. I can do that one of these days. S3 I2C stuff. Somebody was asking me about this yesterday. UARTs, I2C UART. Next one I want to get into a bit, I think, is see if we can add the add this as a argument back in this one. The change I made here was just changing the hard-coded frequency for all devices that set up a onboard display. But it would be nice if we had it as an argument, then we could change it for different boards. So like the Titano could have its own lower number, that 500 we found, that seemed to make the display brightness work. But then the rest of the devices could keep that faster speed if their chip is able to handle it. So why is this changed? You know what I'm used to having in here that's not here now is compare with current version. There used to be inside of here, there used to be compare with current, basically the current remote, whatever the, or not even remote, just the last committed. Like compare with the last thing that was actually committed, so you can see what are all the changes since the last commit. So I have no idea why these, like, why are these differences in my file? I have no idea why or how these got here. Argument approach is an excellent solution. Leaves open if the chip shortage mandates yet another. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if we change to another chip again, which definitely could be happening. So yeah, I don't know why this is different. I mean, I guess I can like just leave it out of my push when I go to push, but I'm getting an ever-growing list of stuff in here. We're gonna have to, I think, clone a new copy of CircuitPython soon and don't ever run pre-commit. Or maybe we should run pre-commit and then push the results. Make a PR out of that. I think they mentioned doing that on the meeting the other day. You know what? Let's do that. Let's see. Even if it doesn't get merged and they close it, if we don't want these changes, that's fine. I would like to try to get back to a point, though, where I can use the same workflow for the core as I do libraries, which for me is usually running pre-commit run all instead of using pre-commit install. I like to run it manually. And it doesn't work on the core because it makes all these other changes. But if we PR'd these changes in, if we actually want them, if we want to follow the formatting in pre-commit, then we could make a PR out of all this. So let's do start fresh though, because I have no idea, like possibly some of this stuff is just wonky in my local version for whatever reason. I don't know why it would be, but maybe it is. So actually I already have a new CircuitPython repo. Ooh, yeah, it's like, well, I thought I did. Power grid bitmap property. That got merged. Tell you what. We probably don't need to keep it, but just in case there's something in there that is nowhere else, what we'll do is Nope, wrong one. I'm actually gonna put old at the beginning. Can I say trust all of them? I guess that was PyCharm. What? Okay, notice that we opened the same project before, just I renamed the file, so it's not actually the same project. It looks like it's trying to look at the make file and do stuff. Not sure. Yeah, on main and up to date though. From main, no track it. And so we're just gonna run pre-commit. And run it again to make sure that it passes. It should, because it makes the changes the first time. It does. And then just make a commit from the result. Can't use Control K. Control K will make a commit, but if you don't have a file focused, it doesn't want to do it for some reason. So now if I just open a random file and then do Control K, you can have an actual commit thing here. But let's see, some stuff in tests, lots of stuff in tests actually. MicroPython. Mostly spaces. I found this before. It's a lot of spaces around this double star thing. Actually, I'm not familiar with that operator. That's a lot of what changed though. Here's another one right here. And here as well. Actually, it's all in tests. Oh, tools. Is tools inside of tests? No, tools is separate. Or code size. It actually looks like all of them. Looks like almost everything is this. I haven't seen one that's not yet. There's a couple new empty lines, I guess. See, it would be helpful. These changes merged in or modify the pre-commit / formatting configuration to not want to change them, so that pre-commit run all could be used instead of pre-commit install, making new changes and PRs from them. Pre-commit install limits its formatting changes to the files that were actually modified during the commit, but pre-commit run all looks at all files in the project, finds these things to change formatting on. Okay. I will be super happy actually if we get this, because I do prefer pre-commit run A. I don't like to do pre-commit install. The thing about pre-commit install is it causes the output to go to a weird place inside of PyCharm. Like, we shouldn't do it one way or another because of how it is in PyCharm, and I grant that that's like, I'm one of the fewer people who use it, so like, you know, we don't necessarily want to make that change just for that, I could see. But it does, like, it is nicer because pre-commit install, it causes it to basically, the output from pre-commit gets printed into like the event log, like here or somewhere else, somewhere like to do with when you make the commit, it pops up an extra little window where it puts that stuff. Sometimes I lose track of where it's at. So if I could just use pre-commit all, then it's in the terminal the exact same way I do it for all the libraries. Everything is all the same and like super easy to kind of keep in mind. So create an empty repo with all the pre-commit scripts rather than cluttering the project repo with files that need to be kept up to date. I've been using the empty repo as an environment for local testing. I know it's an extra step or two, but having only one pre-commit config to maintain fits my occasional use workflow. Create an empty repo with the pre-commit scripts. Oh, interesting. So like you have one sort of like template repo, and then whenever you want to make changes to a different library, you paste that stuff into it, make the changes, and then push from there, instead of like cloning the library as its own and keeping all of its pre-commit stuff inside of it, if I understand right. Okay, so we'll see. I don't know. We talked about this very, very briefly during the meeting, I think, and they mentioned to make the make a PR from it. It did fail pre-commit though. my version of something different? This changed all of them back. Right? Isn't it? This is everything we just changed. Maybe I have the wrong version. What's black? Black? It's tough to search in this thing. I guess they have this. Black. Pip3 install black. Two 22.3. .8. So this really was just black changed, and I didn't get the new version. That's why I've had these the whole time, because this is going to be all the same stuff, right? Just the other way. Yeah. Oh, that is so annoying. Okay. Okay, we need to check this though, because so I think it just undid all of this, but if I go back to main, oh goodness, go back to main, just I want to undo and go back. Back to main, go back. Go back? Where's rollback? Really? I just want to undo everything. Undo. Where is roll? Why is there no rollback? Check out. I almost want to delete that. I guess I'll keep it for the minute though. Check out -b test new branch from Adafruit main, no track, pre-commit, run a, should pass. Pass, yeah. Can you do these things in here? Nice. Well, I wish I would have noticed that sooner and updated that. It made the last couple of quarter changes a lot easier, huh? So let's, now that I have a new repo, let me pull Brightness PWM. What did I call it? Display brightness. Let's pull this over here. This way we should not get those changes, I think. And I gotta run to the restroom, so I'll be back in a minute. Okay. So inside DisplayC in shared module? Don't get to know where. Shared module. So it would show. One's too big. Goes off the side. It goes off the side and it doesn't show up on the other screen. I have another screen over there. It looks like it's running onto it, but it just doesn't come up over there. Shared module. Oh, I don't have that thing in this one. Oh, that's a bummer. No idea how I created that either. Project view or something? Scopes? If there's like an export import thing or something. Save as. Copy. Copy, let's do that. I can just paste to here or This stuff, copy configuration. I don't want to copy it to here though. That's not copy. I don't want to make a copy. I want to copy and then paste. Can't copy and then paste. Copy. Paste. No. That's annoying. Copy scope from one project to another. I don't want to copy like a manually copy a file over. I mean, I guess I could, but that's not very helpful. I guess shared scope? Maybe I need to do a shared scope? Alright, well. Thing for another day. I guess I'll try to do it real quick here. I think what I had was shared bindings, bitmap tools, DisplayIO, VectorIO. Shared module, map tools. Okay. Let's say I didn't do recursively. I hope it's going to give me the files too. Where did we change it? $19. This is README. I go to the wrong thing. WM out construct. Right now it's not a variable or anything, it's just hard coded here. And this is inside of display construct. So I think what we get is a new uint16 which will be called backlight PWM frequency. Does it need to change in here? we don't really need it to be on the struct because we don't need to keep it. Like, the intention is not to be able to access it and change it while the object is alive, just to be able to set it at the beginning. So I don't think we need to keep the integer around past the constructor. Just it gets passed into the constructor and then utilized inside the constructor. And then we'll make a default that is the old value, 50,000 I think it was, but we'll look back at the change to make sure. So it looks like there's nothing to add here. So then basically we'll take that, and that's what we'll pass here. Save that, and then we'll need to do some stuff in here, I assume. Here's the construct thing here, yeah, so we'll need to add it to this. I don't know if it's best practice to put it at the end like this, or... that. Then I think inside of here, C file for shared bindings, it should have the way to do the initialization, like the default is what I mean. What was the old value? $50,000. So we'll go arg. Whoop. Arg. Here's where we can put the default. Do we need uint versus uint 16? It looks like these are all uints. 50,000, yeah, thank you. I think I can do it like this. Calculate PWM frequency. UM. Let's see. It's an int. Keyword argument only. Its default value 50,000. So now when it calls construct here, we'll need to pass it through. Looks like that's pretty easy though. And this one, the order does matter, I'm pretty sure. So we want to put it at the end because that's where it was. Here, I put it at the end. And also here as well. Yeah. I wonder if we should change the order in here, maybe. Put it at the end here as well. I don't know if that one matters, but... event. Okay, so then it gets passed in. We already changed the code inside there that uses it. So the one other change I think we would need is back inside of here. It'll default to 50,000. Actually, let's make the build. Let's see if we got this right. Like, before we even try. Let's go here. Try to make it. See if it even builds. Nope, sure doesn't. Let's see. Make fetch submodule. Submodules. Okay, let's do that. I think that's probably why we didn't get a build. So we'll see if the build works, and then what I'll do is I'll install it, and if it does work, what will happen is we will be back to 50,000 hertz, which means that our brightness will not work. The low end of our brightness, below 0.4, won't work properly. But then I think, as long as we get successful builds, we should then be able to go inside of here. Our Portal Titano, I don't know if it's pins or board, I don't know where it's at. Knit sequence here. Yes, well, no. This here, construct, we'll be able to add the 500 here on the Titano. Oh, but is this, do we need to, do we have to edit every board? Does this know to do the defaults? Oh, this looks like a comprehensive list, doesn't it? I wonder if we would have to then fill in the default on every board. I guess there's not that many boards with built-in display. We'll find out, see how it works. But yeah, maybe this will not, maybe it will, maybe when it calls this, it's gonna crash because it doesn't have enough arguments. Hopefully that's not gonna like brick it. I mean, I'm sure we could get it back with UF2, but I should have ran fetch submodule before I went to the bathroom or anything. Could have been doing that this whole time. Oh well. Data warning. Maybe I'll propose a guide that's like add your own function to CircuitPython. It would be nice if there was a good reference for like, we have the building CircuitPython reference. It'd be nice if there was a reference for like explaining high level shared bindings and shared module, and then showing like some of the most commonly used things, like all the boilerplate code for handling arguments from the Python side and default values and all that stuff, and shared bindings, and then also like the print statement that I looked around for a little while yesterday to find. There was like a guide that had that stuff documented as like a add your own functionality to CircuitPython guide. I think that might be a pretty cool, pretty helpful one, at least useful. I know I would definitely refer back to it even if I created it, so We'll propose that one of these days. Oh. Board C? Did I change it in board C? Too few arguments. Yeah, we are gonna have to change it on all of them. So here it would be 500 for the Titano. So good news is, I guess, if you have an external display and you're writing the Python code that initializes the display, that one will get the default value of the 50,000. So you don't have to change your code if you're using a screen that supports that speed. And then, of course, you'll be able to pass it in if you're using one of these other screens that doesn't. But we will basically have to find all the devices with built-in displays and add this to them. Hopefully we'll be able to get a grep-n to have some links down here in the terminal. That'll make it a lot easier to update all of them. Okay, so we got a build. I did not ever set up the camera today also, and the camera's being wishy-washy the last couple of days. We'll see if it's gonna... Usually the first time I load it, it crashes. Then I can relaunch it, and then sometimes it crashes again. Sometimes it kind of works alright for a while. Let's see what we get today in the camera lottery. Oh wow, I have a lot of stuff down there, huh? Let's get this a little better. Okay. We're in bootloader mode. Copy that onto our device. Trying to get used to keeping this in its own window. Nice. Yeah. I mean, it must have worked, right? Otherwise we wouldn't have got the display. We'll check the brightness. I had a couple brightness sound test. So this one is changing the brightness from 0.1 to 1.0, and it's also playing the tones on the speaker. Let me close some of this. I don't really want this many of these things open. There we go. Is that part of adding C code modules to CircuitPython core? Yeah, basically, yeah. Adding C code modules, yeah. Yeah, I'd like yeah. I mean, it's a, you know, it's, as far as learn guides go, it's like the top tier of difficulty for learn guides. It's definitely very way above the average learn guide, you know, target audience, but there are some of us that it would be helpful for sure, and it'd be great to have a nice, good reference resource. But yeah, like if you wanted to add your own new module, or if you have your own, like, you know, business logic or something that just needs to run super fast in your own project, you could implement it in C code instead of Python code. Whoop. Okay, so there's our brightness. Chunking along there. It looks like the bottom half of it does still work. And I do see it getting brighter with each one of those. Much, well, off there, and then very dim there. Going back up a bit. We get a lot of questions. Yeah, that's true. Which I don't aim to go that in depth into any one particular C thing. Mostly I want like it to cover the boilerplate of getting like hello world, basically. I want a guide that shows you how to add a function that prints something and then call it from Python code. And like after that, you kind of need C and you need to know how to use the rest of that stuff. But this will show you if you do know C or the rest of enough to get around in there, you'll be able to add your own stuff, kind of hack together a build. Hopefully it'll get more folks involved in core development as well if they want to add something and share. So that does look good. The one other thing I want to try is if we just put this back to 50, then we basically should see the same behavior we saw initially in the currently released version, which is that the lower half, like 0.1 to 0.3-ish, don't work right. Why though? So many pauses in the music today. Oh, that was actually just the end of a song, I guess. Okay. Paused on me again. Okay. Back to bootloader. And so here I think we just have the display off for all of the lower half of the brightnesses, basically. If I recall correctly. Yeah. I already can hear the beeps, so I know it's going up, but it's not actually, we can't see it until like 4 or 5 it'll start showing. There we go, 4. Probably when it changed to 5 is when we started seeing it, I think. I will say too, the brightness up here doesn't seem, like can't tell if it's for sure getting brighter with each step. Whereas with the new version and the 500 frequency, I definitely can see each step along the way. Yeah, 0.5 is the first one we saw again. Okay, so that works. I will say we'll have to find the rest of these. It's a good way to find all the devices with a built-in display. I guess find all the calls to this. Okay, I'm also gonna turn off the tones. Do you know of any other devices that have this display chip? I know there was like Featherwings, I think. That's all at the Python layer. But as far as devices with built-in displays, do you know of any others, Sugrover, that have this, whatever chip needs the slower frequency? I think what I'll do is make a commit here, and then also still plan on going back to make another commit with all of the rest of the board changes. I think my shuffle just put together like what is, I guess, a whole song, but I always thought of as the intro to another song. Stuck it in front of something different. Just the 3.5-inch Featherwing. Okay. Basically the big displays. I'm going to make the commit, but not push it. That way it won't start up the actions, because the actions, it's going to try to build all the boards, and they're all going to fail. All the ones except Titano at this point. So we'll save that. Let's do this, and see if we can get a good list of these. Unexpected token. It's part of the string. It's not a token. See, this is what I want, but I want them to be clickable. I don't know why they're not clickable. I do think we mostly care about the ones inside ports. The rest of these, I believe we'll double check them, but I believe I would have already updated these. So really just these ones in ports are the main ones that need to be done, I'm pretty sure. There's kind of a lot of them. Oh, I wish these were clickable. I don't know why they're not. JetBrains. I'm not gonna find it like this though. Git grep-n clickable links terminal. Grep console. Plugin grep console. I don't know that that's really what I want. Yes, that's what I want to happen. So, I mean, it does happen sometimes. It's not happening right now. Something about the formatting must be, I don't know. All right, well, I don't know. Doesn't look like it works. Let's go through them, I guess. I think for now this would actually be helpful. I don't normally want my terminal over here, but well, can't have it over here anyway, so matter. Ugh, just kidding. Okay, that's not as helpful as I had imagined, actually. Oh, now we're stuck here. Okay, well, that's well, it like ran the command again. Weird. Now I got a doubled up list though. Honestly, what I'll do is I'll just make a file. Really? You're not gonna open it? That's weird. Okay. why though? Okay, let's start him out. Halloween M0. That's atmel cmd Halloween M0. Let's close all of these. Oh, I didn't want that to scoot over. Oh, I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna do this manually. This is a lot of stuff. Like, it's a lot of little things, like copying the comment to move it up to the other line, keeping the parenthesis at the end, adding the comma here. There's a bunch of little changes in all these files that are going to need to be done. It's probably right on the edge. I could probably, I don't know. It's the kind of thing where I'm inclined to make a script for it, and by the time I make the script, unless everything goes perfectly the first time, I'll probably have spent more time making the script than just going through and doing it, but also going through and doing it will be a lot more excruciating than writing the script. Like, writing the script is just what I do. More than the meticulous, like, search through and do it. So let's start by getting a good list of files. I don't know if I'll finish this today. I'll start working on it for now. We'll see how it goes. If I get it done, then hooray. If not, then I'll pick it up next time. I think what I'll do is go... display arguments sweep. You can open that in PyCharm. Find devices. So this is gonna run the command that I ran before, but it's also gonna split on the colon. So that I can get just the file by itself. So how do I get the output of a command that runs? Python get output of terminal command. It's like subprocess.shell or subprocess.popen command type communicate. What is all this? There's so many things. Process.run. Type is not defined. os.popen. Deprecated. Wish they would have not put these with REPL things here. Dash in. Maybe we don't need the dash in. I'm not sure. Dash in. Maybe this one should be like this. You cannot do interrupt. I mean, if you write your own C code in the core, you can do whatever you want. So if you write your own C code with interrupts, you can put that in CircuitPython and make your own custom build and then use it. But there is no standard CircuitPython Python layer API for using generally defining your own interrupts. There are a couple of built-in modules that do make use of them, like I think Rotary IO maybe, and Keypad maybe, possibly a couple others. But there's not like a general way for you to write user code that makes them. But if you're going into the core, then you can do whatever whatever's possible with C code. Which is more or less like anything you could imagine, basically, right? Bro, there's a lot of stuff on this. So one problem is this is not going to run in the right place. What does this mean? Help modules? I think it will list all the built-in modules. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that it means anything necessarily. It just lists the modules for you, unless maybe I'm misunderstanding the question. They didn't actually do anything. Plus modules on the file system. I mean, like anything inside lib is a module on the file system. It possibly means like specifically in the root, because if you put libraries in the root, then it will take those ones instead of the frozen in ones. I don't know, that wouldn't really change the list though, because it would just overwrite one that is, I guess if you added your own, maybe. Yeah, short answer is I'm not sure on the specifics of that. My guess is they just mean libraries that you have added yourself, but I don't know if that means like inside lib or only in root, because then it makes it more like a built-in. Not sure the actual specifics there. This is written for Python 2. No Python interpreter found. So I think the problem is, you know, the way it's like waiting, right? Like I run this and then it waits. And then I have to push down all the way. Can I get this to print everything without waiting? Without like paginating or whatever is going on there? Pager. All, no? All match? All match? I don't. There's so much going on here. I have no idea. Is this... Dash O is the same thing as only matching. Dash C is the same thing as count, but those are different than only matching. Just on the same line. And then all matching is its own thing and it just has no letter. I don't even know. Is it dash? Matching? All match. Still doesn't do. Yeah, see, this is the kind of, like, I'm taking so long to just break down the list of files. I definitely could just brute force this and be done, but that's how it goes. At least I'll learn stuff doing this, right? You can set the config option core pager to cat. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Config option core pager to cat. Cat? I mean, I know cat. Cat is like file reading thingy. I don't know what set the config option core. Open to load a C language. Oh yeah, that does not. I'm pretty certain that doesn't work. Like if you make a custom build, you can add your own C module, but definitely not without making a custom build. The get config option core pager. Get config core dot pager. I don't know how to do any. Should I just do cat like this? Okay. How do I, was it more or something? What would it have been before? Head? Or less? It doesn't matter anyway though, because it's not working in here. I mean, it still matters, because I would like it to be paginated sometime, so somehow I'll figure out how to set it back. But it is not working here. Oh, goodness gracious. Why did it... It's... I don't know why it didn't print anything, though. Or finish, ever. I don't know why it's not finishing. Yeah. Okay, new plan. This is, I'm sure, not the most efficient way to do this, but we only need to run it once, and obviously I was floundering going the other way, so this is going to be quicker. Split it on new lines, parts equals row, split it on colon. Cool. Should be loads. No, it shouldn't. Actually, it just shouldn't be here. Okay. Yeah, that's what we want. So now we can write code that will open this file, replace something inside of it, save it, move on to the next file. But I think that's going to be another time. We got this part of it done. I'll have to do the rest of it later because I'm getting a little antsy. I want to get up and move around and stuff. So I think I'm going to head out for now. So thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, Seagrover, again, for your touchscreen example. Thanks, Gordy, Dexter, Johnny, everybody else who is hanging out in the chat with me here. Appreciate all of you. Hope everybody has a good day, good weekend, all of that stuff. And I'll catch you next time, I think. Let's see, what was this? Oh, is this in this channel? I don't know. Yeah, there it is. Okay, thanks. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I'll see you all later on. Thanks.